Hello and welcome to another video. So in this video we will talk a little bit more about payment channels, and we'll show you a code example. So I've been playing around with it a little bit. It's a little bit harder to do, but yeah, I think it was worth it. So I spent like lots of hours trying to set all of that up. But the idea is basically we can do normal payments, so we already know that we can do normal on-ledger payments, and they're validated and afterwards persisted, so meaning that the settlement happens immediately. I will quickly show it in the LiveNet here. So you can see when you do a transaction, for example, if you send XRP from your address to another one, it's being validated immediately and immediately also settled. But there's also another way how it can even handle larger volumes. So currently this can handle up to 1,500 transactions per second. And they are also trying to increase the on-chain performance. But there's also the possibility of creating payment channels. And the general idea about it is, so we'll quickly go to the site here, payment channel. The idea is that the first on-ledger transaction is doing the payment channel fund transaction. So fund, I'm just looking if there's a nicer graph here, but no, it doesn't look nice. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna draw it myself. All right, so I'm gonna oversimplify all of that, so to just break it down a little bit. But the general idea is we first do a payment channel fund transaction, meaning that the person who wants to pay, let's say, well, a person who wants to pay a lot, so small amounts and very often and very frequent, that person can create a payment channel to person B. So let's create, okay, let's say here we've got account 1, let's say it's a payee, it's a person who wants to pay, and let's call the second one the whatever receiver. Okay, we've got here the payee and the receiver, and the first thing that that the payee does, he creates a payment channel fund transaction. So it does one of those, and in the payment channel fund transaction you can say, yep, how much is he willing to well, quote unquote lock up to create the channel. So for example, you can create a payment channel fund with 10 XRP, meaning that this channel at maximum can consume 10 XRP. And then at some point the receiver can do a the receiver can do a payment channel claim transaction. So I'm gonna also use another box here. So the receiver can do a payment channel claim transaction. And as soon as the receiver does that, he consumes the amount he was promised. But before we go to that, so now that's the part which is all happening on chain. So I'm also going to put that into a box here. Maybe we can put that one in the background to the back. Okay, right. So that this part here is on chain, and now they can communicate over any communication channel they want and handle the claim. So the payee, for example, wants to pay 1 XRP. Then the payee sends, okay, for example, pays 1 XRP, and the payee sends his signature for 1 XRP to the receiver. And the receiver stores that, or can keep that, and it's cumulative. So let's quickly go a little bit deeper into that. So the payee sends a signature. So for the sake of letting it look cooler, I'm just going to copy the signature here. So the payee sends this signature here. So this, okay, it's a little bit too long though. I'm gonna cut it a little bit. Okay, so the payee sends his signature to the, so this signature contains the command or the transaction, yes, I'm gonna pay you 1 XRP, and the receiver gets it and can store it. And he can keep that, and they can do lots of microtransactions super fast. So they already tested that in 2011. They can handle up, so it's because it's only based on how fast the payee's hardware can sign the transaction. And they did a test in 2011, I think, where they were able to do 70,000 transactions per second. That's how these payment channels work. So you can do lots of microtransactions, one drop, 2 drop, whatever. That's basically what Coil is doing with the web monetization. And then the signature gets sent to the receiver, like I said. And the receiver, for example, it's the first one. So he says, I'm going to pay you 1 XRP. And then afterwards, he can do another transaction and erase it, and a new signature gets created, which for example says, I'm going to pay you 2 XRP or 3 XRP. and then the signature is going to be sent again. So always it's incremental. So the last part, and then you can always raise it a little bit more. And the receiver, whenever he receives a transaction, he can verify that, but I'm not going to look that closely onto that. Okay, that's the general idea, and as soon as the receiver says, okay, right, I'm done, I want my money, he can do a payment channel fund, a payment channel claim transaction with the latest signature of the payee, and then it gets resolved and the receiver gets the money he was promised. And that's how all of it works. I hope I explained it clearly, but we will do it now hands-on. So for all of that, we've got 2 accounts here. It's super simple. So we can see here, that one is the, yeah, I'm also going to quickly add the tag here. So let's say, so it made a super simple overlay, but let's quickly add something. That's the payer. Yeah, oh, well, it's the, it's the payer. And the other one, let's say that one here is the, yeah, the receiver, the payee. Let's call that one the receiver, right? Okay. Then where is it? There it is. Yeah. Nope, there it. No. Right. I always have to find the tabs here. That one here. Okay, right. So we've got here the payer, and we've got here the receiver. Yeah, great. And the idea is that the payer creates a payment channel with 10 XRP to the receiver, and the receiver then the payer will send a signature, like I said, to the receiver, and then the receiver can make the claim. So let's start with the simple part. We will create a payment channel for 10 XRP. We'll also have a quick look into the code here. You can see it's very simple. Here's a payment channel create function. We will create a payment channel with 10 million drops, so 10 XRP. It should go to the payee address. It should settle after 10 minutes, and that's the payer public key. And yeah, I just tried to put it into a simple overlay so it's easier. So I'm just going to click on that, and now the payer has created his payment channel. So we can see it here. Now this is the next part. So we just created a payment channel. That's great. And there's the channel ID. We will need that one here. So now there's the next part. Now the payer can create a signature. So he can say, for example, now I have to paste here the channel ID. His secret is incorporated there. Now I can say, for example, I want to pay I will authorize the payee to get 1 XRP, and then there's his signature, and he can send the first signature to him, and all of that gets automatically verified. So they have to always do the code, and then he can say, for example, well, I will give you another one, so he has to increment it to 2, and then again he will again get a signature and send it to the payee in this case. And let's say this has increased to whatever, 5, yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter really, but let's take some numbers here. So RD6 here, so 5 XRP and 432,455 drops. So let's do that one here. So I'm gonna send it again, and now there's the signature. This signature has to be delivered to the, like I said, to the receiver. So this signature will be delivered to the receiver. So I'm doing it on the same computer. That's why it doesn't matter. So the receiver here has a make claim transaction, and we will paste in here the signature. We'll paste in here the channel ID. So we'll have to copy that one as well. It's the channel ID. And we need to specify how much it is in total, so use that number here. So we'll just paste it there again, and then we're good to go. So now I'm just saving again, and now we will go again into my simple React application. So as soon as I can find it, there it is. And now the receiver will make its claim. So I'm just going to click on make claim, and we're done. And now I will also have a quick look at the toolkit. And you can see here, made payment channel claim. And now I just received my whatever 5 point whatever XRP here. So I made a claim for 5.43 whatever XRP, and it will get already added to my balance. So that was settled on chain. But yeah, that's now the payment channel should be closed. I guess the other channel will also hopefully immediately get the rest of the balance back, I guess. But yes, that's how all of that works. That's how payment channels works. I oversimplified all of that because the huge part, or the more difficult part is obviously the communication part. So the payee gives the signature to the receiver has to verify the claim, and then he can whatever allow him to do something. And again, it repeats lots of times. So right, but that's the general idea how it works. And I just wanted to show the feature. And like I said, this is happening not on chain, these payments. That's why it's not limited by the transactions per second. This is settled afterwards. Right, but this is already Battlefield tested. This feature is, well, I can look it up how old this feature is. But yeah, now I was able to do it, and it was very cool. And yeah, it was also exhausting. Alright, so that's it basically. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.